Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the High School Star League League of Legends Spring Season, Week 6. And this is the two-game match between Chadwick High School and Alhambra High School. Guys, thanks for watching. My name is Crusader Kitten. Hopefully we'll be able to get through this second match without any internet issues like we saw from the last game, so looking to make it go well. So, after that last game, we're going to be seeing a few bands coming out, most notably Alhambra High School go ahead and take out that Shyvana. Shyvana did see in the top lane on the side for Chadwick High School, and that was pretty scary Shyvana, to say the least. Ended the game, I think, with 0 deaths. I can't remember the exact KDA, but I'm fairly certain that he had 0 deaths after that, so it's going to be fun. I'm going to be seeing the Hecarim band actually coming out as well. Did see Hecarim last game. Yasuo and Lee Sin were banned in the last game, I believe. No, can't quite remember. It's very difficult. Lucian banned, of course, we saw it last game as well. And, you know, fairly scary on that Lucian. So, let's wait for a little bit of the bands to trickle in, just talking about these two teams and where they stand now. Chadwick High School, so far 4 wins, 0 ties, 1 loss with 12 points. They're to win the second match here. They'll be going 2-0. They'll get 3 more circuit points, and that will put them into the 4-way tie for second place. Yep, there's a 2-way tie for first place, and they got 3 extra points, which would give them 15. They'd be in a 4-way tie for second place. If they went tied, they'd be entering a 2-way tie for third place. And that would mean Alhambra High School would also get an extra point, and they'd be entering a 2-way tie for, oh god, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they'd be entering a 2-way tie for 6th place. And you, of course, find a little bit more of a detailed information about this at the High School Star League website. I'm going to link it in chat, lol.hsstarleague.com. You can see all the groups. These two teams are in Group J. If you want to look these guys up, that's Group J, like Jack. So, picks, since we missed quite a few of them, it's going to be Elise, Lulu, and Thresh locked in here. But I said of Alhambra High School, so double support comp. Obviously, Lulu in the middle lane. I wouldn't expect to see a Thresh going anywhere except support. And we're seeing that Elise in the jungle was a ban last game, so. And we're seeing it around this guy, and she's a fairly strong she's a fairly strong champion, so that's super surprising to see that pick coming through. Sivir and Nami once again. We did see Nami being played last game, and it was really strong with the team comp they picked it in. Might be a little bit different this game, but they're going for similar things here. Sivir is probably a little bit better for that long-range engage composition because she does have her ultimate that can, allow her and her team to just run into the enemy team. You'll have that, the on the hunt that would be. But they lock in the Wukong and the Nidalee. So Nidalee not the best instant engager champion. She's definitely a lot more of the Poke champions, but they're going for a little bit more of a mixed team composition this time. It looks like here a little bit more Poke, but they also have that heavy engage coming out there with the Nami, Sivir, and the Wukong, which is going to be great for that because he can get in there, put down the Cyclone, and get that going because he's just able to get into the, he's able to close quite a bit of distance. So for the last picks here, we're looking for the top laner as well as the AD carry. Draven was a ban last game, so it looks like we lost quite a few target bans. He banned out Hecarim and Vi on the side of Chadwick High School. They were the ones playing Vi last game. Looks like just because they wanted to go for a different jungler, they go ahead and ban that one out. Hecarim, of course, was played last game. So they just go ahead and ban that one out. And he was pretty effective in the early game in setting up a nice amount of kills for his team. So it's going to be the Draven locked in there, as well as Shen. Shen I haven't seen in too long. There's quite a few shields coming out of Alhambra High School. Of course, being Stand United on Shen, the Dark Passage on Thresh, and Lulu's. I want to say help picks, but I can't quite remember. I know it's Lulu's E though. Not that much. Let's go ahead and check out her abilities because I can. Help picks. Yep, that's what it is. I was right. I feel pretty smart right now. So, quite a few shields. I can really, just kind of help out protect their AD carry, or I guess their jungle if they really want to. Also, a lot of extra health coming out of the wild growth. If Thresh goes with Targons and Aegis of the Legion, they can have more shields. Thresh might want to invest into that just so they can give Draven a lot of health. And maybe if they put all the shields together, he can tank a Nidalee Spear without taking any damage. You never know. It would be totally worth it, by the way, just to use, your Shen ultimate and your Targon, it's not Targon when it's not Targon when it's the final form, but I don't know what the name for that one is. So it's Mountain's Embrace, Mountain's, I don't know, it's something. The maxed out form of the Targon is totally worth it using it then. Totally worth it, but it could be helpful. So last lock in here is Aurelia, which is strange to say the least. You don't see her quite that often anymore, so we'll be seeing how this does, because I actually haven't seen Shen or Aurelia anymore. Maybe if this was like Season 2 or Season 1, this would be a common lane matchup, but here in Season 4, nuh-uh. Nope, you'd never see that. So, hey guys, thanks for watching the High School Star League of Legends Spring Season. Alhambra High School versus Chadwick High School. Game 2 will be coming up next. Chadwick High School up 1-0. If you want to find out more about the High School Star League, check out our website, hsstarleague.com. Also, shout out to our sponsors helping out with prizing and running this league event, and HSL in general: Twitch, iBuyPower, Razor, Jinx, Gunner, and of course Riot Games helping out with the RP prizing. So, guys, thank to all you viewers, of course, for tuning in, and we'll be right back to you with this game, second game of Alhambra High School versus Chadwick High School. Chadwick High School up 1-0. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. gentlemen, welcome back to the High School Star League League of Legends not winter, spring season. And this is the best of two between Alhambra High School and Chadwick High School. Chadwick High School up 1-0 so far this game. And we'll be seeing if they can carry this lead into, picking up another victory. So, as we get on into the game, they're going to be looking to get this going for themselves. I want to see how it all goes. Last game, we saw a little bit of a blue buff switch up. This game might be something different here, as we're seeing most guys just kind of go to different places. Alright, they're going to get kind of the normal fan that you normally see coming out when they're looking in the early game. My mind totally went different places right there, but in the early game. So we'll be seeing how this one goes down. This is just kind of the normal early game start. Looking over at items here, you're seeing quite a few Doran's items coming out. Start this one out. It's actually 4 Doran's items on each team is what we're seeing. So very popular start for a lot of these champions, of course. Doran's Blades and these carries, Doran's Shields on top lane is Shen, or really goes for a Doran's Blade itself, so a bit more aggressive. Doran's Shields on the 2 supports, which suggests that they're looking for a little bit more trading this game, which is a little bit surprising. Last game, Nami did go for the Spell Thief's Edge to start things out, but obviously that's not the best start, because it wouldn't be the best start in this matchup, because the Thresh Draven is probably a lot more of an aggressive lane. You probably need that pass, and as I'm saying, there is the first hook coming out. Baron Bad is just going ahead, using that death sentence. And they're going to get this roam going on. But looks like we're going to be seeing a pause coming out of the side of Alhambra High School. Possibly a few internet issues coming out, which have been occurring. A few ISPs have been are having intermittent routing issues, according to Reddit. It's basically what the headline is saying, which I'm just reading off of, but a little bit unfortunate. Hopefully they'll really get back into the game here. So, in terms of how these lanes are most likely going to go, Thresh and Draven is a really aggressive lane. They'll probably just be able to go aggressive quite early, possibly pick up a few kills if they're able to, because this is probably one of the better lanes to go for in kill lane wise. Thresh obviously has a nice amount of damage. Having the passive on its Flay that gives it some extra damage on his auto attacks. He also has obviously some great CC coming out. Draven, of course, is just able to put out quite a bit of damage. So Thresh going to hang on the brush, ends up getting forced back a little bit. And they're going to go get back into the swing of things, out of the pause, back into the game. So, what these two teams are probably looking for, and unfortunately we're seeing a disconnect. So probably what Alhambra High School is looking for is to get their internet back up and working. And what Chadwick High School is looking for is to just keep playing the game. So, while they get their internet issues sorted out, unless it gets sorted out soon, while coming back, we might go for a bit of a pause break really quickly, just so we can get the just waiting a while so we can get some of these things rolling again. So, bottom lane obviously gonna have a little bit of difficulty. Middle lane might be a bit of a farm fester now. Obviously these two guys have a lot of poke, but because they have a lot of poke, it would probably mean that they just can kind of stay a ways away from the enemy, and the only time they'd be able to go aggressive is when they get super close. Lulu has a little bit more kill potential with the Ignite. Really not as much. Has Barrier, but she can definitely protect herself, and if Lulu really wants to duel it out. So Shen's still having some issues. So guys, we're gonna be right back before we get on into this game. Just wait for these internet issues to be sorted out. Thanks for watching the High School Star League, and we'll be right back. Won't be working out for a while. However, hopefully they can get this up and running. So guys, welcome back to the High School Star League. After a bit of pause, we're going to be seeing these guys go back into this one. So Elise is possibly looking for a gank down on bottom lane. Obviously, you need to get this bottom lane rolling, and here she comes. And before they gank, a nice ball coming up, but it does not matter because Sivir is getting hunted down here. There's Repel going out to close some distance, and Thresh is a little bit late on that death sentence there, and possibly could have just gone for the kill. Obviously, a little bit delayed. It was a nice awkward prison right there from Nami. Just stop him from going in and engaging, as well as an exhaust coming out from Nami. However, Sivir did have to use the flash and the barrier, which is really dangerous, obviously, because with the kill potential that Thresh and Draven have together, they can probably hunt her down. And the fact that she doesn't have either of her summoner spells means she's very susceptible to any engage coming out of this bottom lane here. So they're going to be looking to push this one out. They just hit level 3. They have their full combo. There's a Death Sentence lands, and the play backwards. Aqua Prison lands, but it does not matter. First play going over the Draven. They're going to be looking for more some damage onto Nami, but Wukong is coming in. Lantern going to be coming off. Flashed away from Thresh. Draven pulls it, gets away across the lane right there. Nicely done to get away from that Wukong. Draven and Thresh will be safe and sound. They'll go ahead and go back and cash in the money they just got. So, pickaxe coming out for Draven, as well as a longsword, and he is looking for some nice damage with that. Looks like top lane chain coming off here as well. Flash away coming out from Aurelia. Shen forces her out. Did have to use the ignite to get her out of there, so he's going back out. But Draven going for the longsword as well as the pickaxe. Obviously, he's going to have a huge amount of damage. And Sivir was forced to go for another Doran's Blade, which is obviously sets her behind 475 gold, because AD carries nowadays don't really want to go for those double Doran's Blades, especially if you're just kind of behind in lane. You know, you're gonna be a little bit behind in picking up a few of those items. Maybe if you're ahead in lane, you're looking for a lot more early trades. Doran's Blades, or stacking them would be useful, but for an AD carry that's already set behind by, you know, going down, she's behind a little of the CS, she's behind a lane, she's in a lane where the enemy is probably going to be able to take her out pretty easily. with the fact that they're a pretty heavy kill lane, it's gonna be very rough here for Sivir. Last game we saw Vayne being put into this situation. Worked a little bit out. Worked out a little bit better for the Vayne. Of course, Vayne just being Vayne, having that late game potential. His middle lane, Niddle hits level 6. Tries to go in, and Lulu hits level 6 as well at that point. So just goes ahead, gets out of there. Bottom lane, nope, there's a death sentence once again, this time onto Nami. And they go ahead and back out of that one, just trading some damage. Draven actually took quite a bit of damage from that trade. He's gonna have to look to heal himself back up. Of course, a little bit of the perk of Nami that she does have the ebb and flow to get some heals going. Thresh has none of the sort, because if he did, he'd be a little bit too strong, I think. So they're going to still keep this pressure down onto bottom lane, still look for these trades, but they do have to be a little bit careful of this poke. Boomerang Blade from Sivir is doing a bit of a number onto Draven so far. Top lane here, we're seeing, you know, at a glance, I think really is a little bit behind. She's pretty behind in health right now, but she makes up for that in the amount of CS she has. 53 CS to 30, 23 CS ahead is a pretty significant lead for herself. And she's probably just gonna be able to use that to her advantage. She's gonna be going back now. Maybe most likely gonna be picking up items when you go back. Get that going for herself. Elise is actually looking to steal this blue buff away from Wukong, who is able to actually. Now is looking to make an escape, but the Cyclone is hit. The level 6 Wukong with the flash. Wild Growth coming out of Lulu. They're going for the engage here. Flashing after. Flash away from the Nidalee right there. Takes the Dark Passage out. 4 members of Alhambra High School have just gone down to the bottom lane, but not going to get anything out of that. Except for this dragon, which they're going for right now. So they're going to be able to get a free dragon here, it looks like. And they're going to just be able to increase their gold league by quite a bit more after that. So it's going to be nice to them. Get their gold back up and going. They're about 1,000 ahead with that, between that first blood and that dragon. They're lacking in CS in terms of the top lane, and actually Draven fell a little bit behind. In the lane though, 63 to 42 in favor of Lulu is definitely very advantageous for Lulu. So Lulu obviously has been doing pretty well. He's gonna go back, picks up Boots and Chalice of Harmony, as well as picking up that Fiendish Codex. So ahead in Nidalee on items, not too surprising to see. We'll see how she can do with that. She can probably definitely roam around a lot, as Nidalee is doing right now. Actually, Nidalee goes for the first roam of the game, heading down over to bottom lane for a gank, as it seems. And there is this heavy hitting spear onto Thresh. He's going to be forced back just a bit after that one. Thresh went back, he picked up the ancient coin. Wants to get that gold generation going, of course, and a little bit. He's gonna be definitely ahead of Nami right here in terms of gold. Top lane, we're gonna be seeing the game coming off. Elise is going for this one. Ward into the brush by Shen to catch up, and Lithium is definitely dead right here. Turns around for a little bit of damage here, trying to duel it out, but ends up going down. Elise will be able to pick up that kill. There's a nice death sentence onto the bottom lane. Play backwards, spell shield by Sivir, who has it level 6. Wukong though is coming in from the side. Standing Eye coming out from Shen as well, as they're trying to hunt somebody down here. Shen is taking way too much damage. Sivir is in the middle of the fight, but is focused by nobody there and goes down to Draven goes down, as well as Thresh. Sivir and Wukong picking up the kills, and they'll be sending this 3-man here to push down this tower, and Wukong really got in there at the right time to put down that Cyclone and really get some nice CC going. So first 2 kills of the game going over to Chadwick High School, getting it on the jungler and the AD carry. Meanwhile, middle lane though, some nice pressure coming out from Lulu there, and that's the power of AP. Lulu can just poke you even when you're behind that tower, and this is looking pretty good for these guys. Bottom lane goes down as well. Bottom lane tower goes down. This is going to even up the gold lead. Completely even. So now AD carries both going for these BF swords. Of course, Draven It'll be interesting to see if he actually goes for Bloodthirster or an Infinity Edge. He's slightly closer to the Infinity Edge because he does have the pickaxe, but getting the Bloodthirster, early to get the stacks going, get a little bit more sustain is definitely useful. Sivir kind of has a clear-cut path. Go for that Bloodthirster because she has the has a longsword to go into Vampiric Scepter. For these junglers, we're already seeing the ancient golem coming out of Elise, as well as the Spirit of the Elder Lizard from Wukong. Not too surprising, Wukong definitely wants to go for a little bit more damage. So far 1-0-1 has had a little bit of a nice impact on this game here, and he's going to be looking for a few more ganks to come out. Now that he's hit level 6, now that he's gotten an offensive jungling item, definitely go for a little bit more. So Elise is heading down to this bottom to see if she can do anything. Possibly we'll just have to back out, lane a little bit too far push. Meanwhile, middle lane, haven't seen any kills coming out, but that might change because Wukong is sitting in the sidelines. Lulu's feeling pretty confident right now. She has the wild growth, even if she does get ganked. She's brought him nearly down to so low. There's a cyclone coming out. There's a wild growth coming out. Can she turn this one around though? The barrier coming out, flashing inside the bush, and Wukong is able to close the distance and pick up the kill. Elise comes in there, but a little too late. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Thresh is taking way too much damage from Nami, and Sivir, he's going to be going down. Throws on the box at the last second, but Draven cannot return this one. Flashes away there from Sivir. And Draven is actually going to be taking a little bit of damage. Gets put up in the Aqua Prison. And he'll be trading with a little bit of Nami and Sivir right here, so has the flash in the barrier if you want to go aggressive or if you want to stay alive, obviously. Wukong is around, same thing, and here is gonna be Sivir going down. Draven picking up the kill, now chasing after Nami, picks up the double kill here. Can make it 3, but Wukong decides to stay away. Except when he goes for the minion. So 4-4 now. Draven just got a nice amount of gold for himself, picking up the double kill right there. Obviously having that barrier was very useful in that exchange, so he'll be able to go back. We'll see what he's going for. And now this will happen. So it's gonna be Thresh picking up the Sightstone. Also has a cloth armor. Draven goes for the Bloodthirster, so we'll have the pickaxe to sit on. Obviously can build that into a Last Whisper sometime soon. Sunfire Kid coming out of Shen, not too surprising. Obviously it's a great item for when he goes in with the Shadow Dash, and Shen probably just going to be going for that tanky build as Elise finds a bit of Sivir, and Nami gets locked up in the Aqua Prison. Had a nice stun onto the Sivir. Stand United is coming off, gets close to distance with Repel, and that is a gone Sivir. With Thresh picking up the kill, bringing down that Shen from top lane with the Stand United allows Alhambra High School to start up on this dragon if they want to go for it here, but he's going to be hanging around here because Chadwick High School is positioning around. They do pick up the dragon, lose the final kill with that, final hit with that one. No back at it after that. Top lane Umbrella is able to push down now. Chadwick High School is 2-0 in towers. Alhambra High School sitting 2-0 in dragons, so the different objectives going for these two teams, but Chadwick High School is looking to change that as they're putting some damage onto this middle lane tower. While they have the opportunity, Elise and Lulu, or Elise actually is fairly low. Lulu has a few bars off of that life bar. Aurelia has just roamed down into this middle lane, and they could look for an engage here because Shen just left. However, a nice amount of poke going off onto Wukong. He's going to be forced back a little bit after that one. And keep this pressure going. Nilly picks up the blue buff. She's low after that blue buff, and her shield does not do that much just yet, so she probably just wants to go back. And it's going to be Alhambra High School picking up a dragon, losing it, trading it off for a tower. And they'll be backing off. They actually cannot go back. They have to stay around in this middle lane because it's going to be Chadwick now putting onto pressure into this middle lane. Nilly Spirit chunking down that Thresher quite a bit. You'll have to be careful of that for that. So a bit of mid lane game going on here. Shen is top lane, doesn't quite have the Stand United up just yet. It's about halfway off the cooldown. Maybe hanging around. So this, oh gosh, the Lily Spirits are gonna be chunking this Lily down as well. And this tower is probably going to be gone here for Alhambra High School. They just got them way too poked down. There's a pull going up onto Aurelia. Nice play onto 3 as well. The box coming up and no one's following it up. The Ignite is on Thresh, but he has a Lulu shield to keep him a little bit safer, and quite a few cooldowns burned right there, and they were unable to pick off Aurelia. He was under that tower for quite some time. And they're just, kind of running low on mana. Elise and Thresh, Elise and Draven are Elise, and it's Lulu that's running out of health here as his Lily Spirits keep coming in. Has a blue buff going for herself, and is definitely using it there. Those are Spear onto Draven this time. They keep this middle lane pressure going, as this is Draven and Lulu being forced to back out, and they just got poked out of this spot, middle lane. Meanwhile, Shen was able to take the tower up at top. And was able to, get the first tower for his team. Meanwhile, the middle lane tower falls to Chadwick High School, and they have the 3 outer towers. And this is definitely nice to get, more map pressure going. They're slightly behind in terms of gold, but they want to get this map pressure going. They can really siege down these towers as well, just because they have the Nidalee. They also have Lulu, not Lulu. They also have Nami for some heals going. Nidalee has a heal, of course, but main focus of Nidalee, of course, is those spears, which he is going to be starting to use to get these the poke going while they siege down towers. But they had to be careful of the heavy engage and pickoff team, because we kind of saw what happened to Sivir when Elise and Shen and Draven kind of commented all their abilities together to catch her out and take her down. That can kind of happen to anybody on the side of Chadwick High School, so have to be pretty careful about roaming around. And it's kind of with the pressure Shen can put off and the pickoff potential that Alhambra High School does have. But if they just go for these towers, which is what they've been doing, they can probably just pick up a nice amount of gold for themselves that they can really put the pressure onto Alhambra High School. So they're possibly looking for another fight here. Draven has actually hit the last Whisperer, so he's significantly ahead of Sivir in terms of items right now. Sivir has the tier 2 boots and the Bloodthirster, but doesn't quite have that last Whisperer. But gonna be pushing everyone into the lane anyway. Almost 20 minutes into the game here, and there isn't a sizable advantage for either of these teams. Just, gold lead is pretty much just evening out to not significant. Insignificant is what I was looking for. Middle tower goes down after a pretty quick push coming out there from the side of Alhambra High School. They were able to take that one down pretty easily. Sivir and Nami were still down bottom lane, pretty much pushing nothing because the tower is gone in that lane. They're going to lose that middle lane tower for that, so it's 2-3 now in terms of towers, but we have quite a few people descending onto this middle lane now. As we've seen most of the fights and pressure coming out in mid lane. Shen, meanwhile, up top lane has the Stand United, one who wants to get into the fight. And he'll just be looking to be that split pushing guy, as Shens usually are. So, Chadwick High School just looking to keep this going. In terms of vision, they're actually doing pretty well right now. They have 2 ping wards out on the map. They're keeping wards definitely around this dragon area, because dragon is actually respawning in quite a few seconds. And they can go ahead and start taking this one down. So dragon coming out for Chadwick High School. Gonna be the first dragon of the game for themselves here, as they are they are poised to take this. They have all 5 members sitting inside the pit, and it looks like Alhambra High School can't really do too much about it. Most of the members just went back, bought some items. They're just trickling back into the map right now, and yes. Alright, well, guys, looks like we're going to be getting a co-caster for myself in just a second here. And you know, once he gets in, we're going to explain all that jazz, but we're going to be holding down the fort momentarily. Top lane, we're going to be seeing Aurelia coming after Shen, of course, just looking to pressure down that tower. He has taken about halfway off that tower so far. He's doing well for himself there. Just in the split pushing aspect of this game, he's still behind in CS compared to Aurelia though, and obviously Aurelia is pulling for the offensive so far. Picked up double Doran's blades as well as the blade of the Ruined King. Just now going to be going for some defense, looking to get a Randuin's Omen. Has the double cloth armor. So far, so. Gonna get a little bit more pressure into the middle lane. So both of these teams playing this really carefully. Neither of these teams have a super heavy engaged composition. Alhambra High School probably just wanted to keep this game in laning phase with the fact that they had, you know, a stronger bottom lane as well as a stronger middle lane going for themselves. Lulu was pretty ahead in CS above Nidalee. Thresh and Draven were doing very well in this bottom lane, but Chadwick High School just wanted none of that. They definitely had the better team fight comp, or not the team fight comp, just the team play comp, just the fact that they can siege down towers, and that, you know, Sivir obviously has a great team fight ultimate, and there is some nice spell coming out, Boomerang Blade, as well as the Spear Shot coming out from Nidalee. So they're going to be heading over into this middle lane once again, looking to continue this pressure. There's a hook onto Wukong, there's the play backwards, well, Box being dropped down, Woggle coming off. And it'll be Thresh going down, Wukong going down as well. Shut down actually there by Thresh. Nami's trying to get away with the flash after by Draven. Picks up the kill with the auto attack. And now it'll be Shen continuing on with this push. However, Aurelia wants to go on for Lulu, flashing behind, gets the kill, goes down herself to Draven. Draven keeping out quite a few kills for himself in this one. Meanwhile, Elise gets the repel up. Goes back down by the Wraith camp. Nidalee and Sivir are both still alive for Chadwick High School, but both fairly low on health bars, and it's going to be Shen, Elise, and Draven pushing down this middle lane to see what they can do. And as I say that, Elise takes some damage, and she's going to have to go back after that one because she's in no way, shape, or form to go for an engage. So we're actually seeing pings going out onto Elise. They know she's there. The Spear Shot, it's blocked by the Spiderling. Oh gosh, that's just unfortunate for Nidalee. She gets stunned out there. But the Spear Shot comes out the second time, and Nidalee's able to chase that one down. So, well guys, it's Crusaderkin now joined by Castasada. He's going to be dual casting the rest of this game with me.
Hey everyone, sorry for being so late. But yeah, I am totally here, and I am very excited. Crusader Kitten,
yep.
Give me the breakdown. What's happening? This looks like a really even game.
Yeah, it's Alhambra High School versus Chadwick High School. Alhambra High School being on the blue team, Chadwick High School over on the red team.
Alhambra versus Chadwick.
Chadwick.
Chadwick, yeah, that makes
like
more sense.
Warwick, but with the name Chad in front of it.
Chad Warwick. I suddenly had a horrible picture of like Warwick with a high school chin.
You replace the war with Chad. But,
yeah. But like if Warwick were in
1-0.
high school wearing like a polo and jeans, big old sweater, Chadwick. You know, he's got the hat tilted off to the side.
Chadwick actually, I looked them up, and fun fact, they actually have an extensive outdoor education program, and like these things go like backpacking and stuff for like a week or something like that.
Wow, so they're fantastic at both outdoor and indoor stuff.
Yeah.
They're keeping dead even with Alhambra right now.
Yeah, well, they are the untied third place. No, they're the untied fourth place in the group.
Okay.
No, they're the tied fourth place in the group. Because there's like ties for second and third place. They're actually 8th place in the group if you look at the brackets. That's what it'll say. So they've been doing quite well for themselves, and they're showing, you know, why they're a pretty strong team right here. They've taken quite a few towers, but you have to be really careful in terms of team fights, because so far in this game they've been kind of just caught out, you know, from the pickoff potential from Elise, Thresh, Shen.
Yeah, I've been seeing there's a lot of engage potential coming out from Chadwick High School. They've got Tidal Wave, Cyclone, On the Hunt, and even a Nidalee Spear to poke people down. So it looks like Chadwick is going for more of a team fight, sort of a highly mobile composition, whereas Alhambra, they're focused on getting picks with Cocoon and Death Sentence and letting Mr. Shoko on Draven to do enormous amounts of damage. It seems as though he is going to be their main carry. At 6-1-1, 180 farm, 26 minutes in, he's going to be the main target for Chadwick to bring down.
Yeah, he's been picking up kills really well. He's just been able to stay at the back line. And he's just been picking up kills in most of these fights here. He's actually gone for the Youmuumus, which is a really interesting build.
Yeah,
and this is actually
provide attack speed and armor reduction, but the attack speed.
Hold
refresh,
on, we might be seeing a fight coming out for Paul coming in. He has a Stand United, the Shadow Dash coming out as well as they're chasing after the Sivir. A nice Nidalee Spear though lands onto Elise. Tidal Wave coming out. Looks like we'll be seeing Alhambra forced to disengage. Meanwhile, Cyclone comes in from Wukong, getting it onto 4 right there. But Wukong pays for that one, goes down to Draven, giving him another kill, a double kill coming out for Draven as he gets one onto Nami as well. Flash hook from Thresh doesn't quite land right there. He eats a spear for that one.
And with Alhambra taking the dragon, they have to be careful because Nidalee still alive. She can toss out very dangerous spears, and if she manages to bring them low, this could be a turnaround for
you get the dragon though. Elise wants to go. Elise is taking a lot of damage here from Irelia, who wants to go back in. A nice hook coming out though onto Sivir. Meanwhile, Draven was around the corner picking up a kill onto Nidalee. Comes back into the pit, picks up another double kill. That's an unofficial quadra kill for him in that fight right there, and they actually get the ace right as Nami respawns. So an ace coming out for Alhambra High School as well as a dragon coming out for them, and it looks like this bottom lane tower.
And that was all 4 of the kills from that team fight. 4 out of the 5 kills going on to Mr. Shoko's Draven. His Adoration passive is up to 1,300 bonus gold. That's a brutalizer. That's half of his Youmuu's Ghostblade. Now that that turret and the dragon have been taken, I expect to see him go for a little bit more attack speed with either a Zeal or a Static Shiv. No! He's just going for raw damage. And seeing the team composition out of Alhambra, that makes perfect sense. He has got the damage, and his team has enormous amounts of peel, Thresh play, Wild Growth, and the taunt from Vincent on Shen. He can stay alive for such a long time, and Chadwick, they tried to get to the back line of Alhambra, but they just were not successful in that last fight. And Draven staying alive for as long as he did, turned it around, picking up the unofficial quadra.
Yeah, and he's got that Merc Treads as well, so he's going for, tenacity. He's like, Youmuu's Ghostblade, that's all I want for attack speed. And this is actually what he picked up last game. He was playing Vayne, he went for Blade of the Ruined King, Trinity Force, and he was gonna build a Youmuu's, but the game ended because his team lost, so. But in the second game, though, he's doing really well. He's 10-1-1, and I mean, you can't argue with the build he's going on Draven, I suppose. Vayne build a little bit questionable, but that's kind of bridge underwater now.
Yeah, you can't really argue with any item pickup because he's 10-1-1. Yeah. It's working. Yeah. Certainly interesting, not something you see every day, but he has got the damage. But Darren's almost gets caught. Look at the crit onto Darren's. He gets taken down to half health by a single axe.
He was forced to flash away from that, and I mean that kind of shows how much pressure Alhambra High School have so far. Except for when Nidalee Spears comes through.
The Rabadon's death cap on E-Hydrogen is allowing him to really chunk people down. And wow, E-Zinc with the Bloodthirster and Last Whisper actually does a pretty good amount of damage with those Boomerang Blades. So there is a lot of poke potential from Chadwick, but they just can't quite catch Mr. Shoko. And he has got to be their main focus.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, obviously, we've just been talking about him, but looking over at other guys on his team, obviously, a lot of them can just contribute to these fights well. Lulu, not having all the kills, but she is pretty farmed up right now, has the most CS on her team, has actually built up with the Raven's death cap, and obviously, it's really useful having a Lulu to just peel for your AD carry, having that wild growth, as well as just having like a lot of slows. She has a polymorph.
Absolutely. Ever since Season 4, when supports were tweaked to be a little bit more effective, all of Lulu's movement speed and shields were changed to scale with ability power. So Shiro, going for that Rabadon's death cap, he's actually indirectly going for utility Lulu. The wild growth is going to provide what is that, 600 bonus health, 650, in addition to providing an up to a 50% movement speed with his help picks and the Whimsy. He is going to be doing such a fantastic job of providing utility to keep Mr. Shoko alive. And yes, he certainly will do damage if he manages to get a Glitter Lance off, but really watch for the Whimsy. Who does he speed up to try to keep alive? But a fight looks like it's about to break out.
Engage. There's a completely deleted Nami right there, and possibly Silver's up next. It takes half health. Rolling Death comes through, doesn't quite catch on to anything, but that Cocoon just went right into a lot of damage coming out of Alhambra High School. They completely destroyed that one, but here comes the engage coming out. Cyclone from Wukong, but he would just want to run out right after that one. Aurelia goes in as well, but she just gets destroyed as well, at least with that kill. That's 2 members down for Chadwick High School, and Alhambra High School want to keep this push going.
And they certainly can. Mr. Shoko is still alive. Wukong got an excellent Cyclone. He was able to... Whoa, the spear snipe from Nidal ends Shoko's legendary spree.
Yeah, and there's the flash in from Wukong. Picks up a kill for himself. They did not destroy the inhibitor box for the disengage, but a double kill coming out there for Nidalee. Elise and Shen are able to survive and escape, but that was a great re-engage coming out of the Chadwick.
Yeah, Cesium just did such a great job of engaging first with the Cyclone, and while he did not die in the first fight, he was able to get out, and that home guard boots allowed him to rush right back in and come around, finally end that fight for Alhambra as Draven was dead. The moment that threat was off the board, we immediately saw Chadwick rush back in, and now that that is such an enormous death timer out of Alhambra, they're free to take the Baron completely uncontested. Alhambra doesn't even have wards to spot this out.
Yeah, completely free Baron, as you're saying, going over to them. So, Mr. Shoko just finished up the Infinity Edge. So he's going to be hurting a lot more, but it doesn't mean that much if he's going to get sniped out by that Nidalee, of course.
Now, the reason that Mr. Shoko ended up being so low at the end of the fight, Cesium went straight to face on Mr. Shoko. He brought him low, but the Ignite dropped by Lithium, who also dived in, denied Draven's lifesteal for long enough to keep him low. And Nidalee, with an excellent spear, threading the needle, brought down Draven. If he had stayed back just a little bit longer and instead of attacking the turret was attacking the minions underneath it, he would have been able to regenerate health and possibly survive the spear. It certainly would have been close, but that's just fantastic teamwork coming out from Chadwick. E-Hydrogen recognizing that Draven is low and just chunking out spear after spear, putting out reliable, consistent damage. And E-Lithium, despite the fact that he died, knew that his death was worth it. And holy cow, Bacon Badgers cannot be that far forward, especially with Nidalee on the enemy team.
And she has gone for the death cap. Now another needlessly large Roddy coming out, so she is going for heavy AP damage.
I really hope it's a double death cap. Because it's already on the Nidalee, who has a death cap. If you take a look at the character model, she has the big old witch's cap. So with the Rabadon death cap,
she wants a cap. She wants a hat for her previous form.
Yeah, she's playing Team Fortress 2 right now.
Yeah, that's yeah. So now Chadwick High School, they have this Baron up there looking for this middle lane pressure. Do you think they can actually, stand up to Alhambra High School in these team fights with this 11-2 and 2 Draven?
Chadwick has the damage. E-Hydrogen can do enormous amounts of damage. Irelia, with the completed Randuin's and Blade of the Ruined King, can soak quite a bit. And E-Cesium, he isn't quite that effective, but most importantly on E-Cesium, as he has completed his Black Cleaver. If he can manage to get a good Cyclone onto Alhambra's team, shred through their armor, that's going to live E-Zinc to just completely dominate with auto attacks. And E-Zinc, with the armor shredded for Alhambra, might be able to match the damage from Mr. Shoko. So keep an eye out. Whoa, the Cocoon catches Hydrogen, but he walks away.
Yep. And nothing happens. So, something really interesting to note here is Thresh actually went for a heavy armor build. He went for Ninja Tabby, as well as the Thornmail, which is something we haven't seen too often on supports. And he also, of course, gets the passive armor from his passive, from collecting souls. but this leaves him kind of at a disadvantage whenever a spear hits him because he's going to get completely chunked down because of the fact that he has very little magic resist, and also that Lulu gets very low.
Yeah, Shiro is going to be forced to back away. The Baron buff.
It's 35 magic resist.
Yeah, the Baron buff.
He has 268 armor, which is great, but he has 38 magic resist, which is not that great. Especially against the middle lead.
Yeah, if he tanks a single axe, actually even the tidal wave from Nami would do decent damage. That's going to be 150 damage minus 38 magic resist. Comes out to about 200. That's pretty solid.
Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't go for like a, what is it, Merc Treads or something like that. That would have been really helpful, but no.
I do like the Ninja Tabby, though. Yeah. Seeing the Sivir, Irelia, and Wukong, that's two fighters who need to get up close. And Sivir, long-range auto attacks. If Sivir gets close, then he's basically dead as it is. But if he can survive E-Cesium and E-Lithium, he's going to be in a pretty solid spot. Because E-Hydrogen, he has got the spears. He can put out the damage with his spears, but if he decides to go up close in Cougar form and try to burst somebody down, Mr. Shoko can definitely prevent that from happening with a solid stand aside.
Yeah, that's actually very true. I can see my point. But, so, we're going to be going back, picking up items now. We're seeing Wukong go for the Black Cleaver, so he went for Spare the other Lizard, then the Randuin Zilman. So now he's going right back over to the damage items, and he's not going to be... Looks like he might be trading off here, because he has the Chain Vest up as well.
Absolutely. I really like the pickup from a Chain Vest on Wukong. That, to me, says he knows what he's up against. Shiro only just now completed the Lich Bane. If Shiro were going for a damage-based Lulu, holy cow, how do I word? He would have completed that immediately after the Athene's Unholy Grail. Because it is delayed, that means that Lulu is relying on ability power and utility to keep Draven alive. Draven is the main threat for Chadwick. And they're all building defensive against it. The only magic resist I see on their team is on Irelia with the Negatron cloak. And honestly, I think that's going to be for a Guardian Angel more than anything else. Magic resist, for the sake of magic resist, is not in Chadwick's mind.
Yeah, and he just went for movement speed slows all around Randuin Zilman, as well as a Frozen Heart coming out. And I mean, obviously against that 11-2 Draven, you probably need it. And the fact that he hasn't built... He's only built one attack speed item. He doesn't even have the boots up. Actually, yeah. So he only has the active for one thing for Youmumu. So that's definitely going to hurt him quite a bit when he's actually getting into fights. He's going to be throwing out a few less axes, but those axes, of course, do hurt quite a lot. So we'll be seeing possibly a fight breaking out in this middle lane as both of these teams are centering around this inhibitor.
Oh man, I love Kiyonada's build. Going for that tanky Elise, not even picking up a Haunting, guys. But this appears like this could be dangerous for Kiyonada as Chadwick give chase to the rest of Alhambra. Let's see if they will be able to catch anyone. E-Hydrogen goes forward. Cesium is going right on in, but no Talisman the Ascension from Darren's Toaster or Thrill of the Hunt, or On the Hunt, being used by E-Zing. Suddenly this push is getting turned around.
Yeah.
And suddenly Alhambra, they're finding themselves on the back foot.
Yeah, well, Draven and Elise ended up just getting out of position, and hold on, there is Aurelia getting a little bit out of position as well. Stania going down onto Shen, onto Thresh there, and that was actually a little bit unneeded because that was a very fast disengage coming out of Chadwick High School right there. Take a little bit of damage for hitting that inhibitor tower. They run right out of there. Actually, just kind of wasted Shen's ultimate.
They walked on top of a ward. Chadwick going for the Baron, walked on top of the pink ward. They're spotted out, and we can see Alhambra moving forward to get closer to the freshly respawned Baron. Ooh, Mr. Shoko takes a solid spear. Let's see if the Tidal Wave will force an engage as he is in a tight choke. This is where Wukong wants to try to land that Cyclone, knock up as many targets as possible, and shred through as much of that enormous amount of armor.
Elise wants to look for an engage. She's going to be pouncing it onto this one. The rocks back into the bubble. Shen possibly looking to go in right here. Lilith didn't go back and heal herself up, so she's pretty low if they go for an upcoming fight, and she's obviously going to be to her disadvantage by quite a bit because I think it's like one Nidalee spin. She's probably a goner.
Absolutely. That spear is going to be absolutely terrifying if it hits. So that's why we see
Is it
Shiro.
really a double death cap?
And
He has a blasting one. Literally has a blasting one.
I really hope that it is. Because that's
There's
just
no way.
raw
gotta be
ability
kidding
power.
me.
That means he's going for that super powerful Lulu just to keep Mr. Shoko alive. And I think that's what he needs to be doing.
No, I'm talking about Nidalee.
Oh, Nidalee. Yes, I am totally misreading that entirely. It could be. Nidalee also scales with ability power. Her traps will do enormous damage. Her spears will do enormous damage. It could work. I'd rather see a Void Staff. And honestly, it just might be a Zhonya's and a Void Staff just because he didn't have enough gold for the Seekers, but he still wanted to get ability power.
That's true.
So we'll certainly find out as soon as he recalls, but considering as it is Nidalee, E-Hydrogen probably not going to recall for a solid 20 minutes.
Yeah, want to get some of that CS going. And speaking of CS, 342 CS. 344 actually now for Aurelia. That's a pretty big number. And it's the most farmed up in the entire game right now and has the items to show for it. And is definitely going for a bit of those dive in items. Let's just pick up.
I'm watching and waiting.
Home guards? Home guards.
And
yeah, she has
Void
okay.
Staff,
Well, there's a
that's
Void
it.
Staff. Wow, you go, dude.
Alrighty. So Void Staff, and then she will be building that Seekers eventually to build it into a Zhonya's. I don't think she can handle a Deathfire Grasp, especially against Mr. Shoko on Draven. The only time that would be useful is if Mr. Shoko is dead and she can jump onto someone else, because she does not want to get into melee range or range of Mr. Shoko. That's just out of the question. But here's a little bit of an interesting question. Alhambra, almost all of their damage is on Mr. Shoko. Certainly, Shiro can do a little bit, but all of the weight of winning the game is on one champion, Mr. Shoko. Chadwick, they've got Sivir, they've got Wukong, Irelia, and Nidalee. Which team do you think is better off?
Well, I would definitely say Chadwick in that situation here, and it's not just just that question, but Alhambra High School, they don't have the best, because obviously they need to peel for Draven. That's all they have. Like that's the main focus and objective in this game is just when they get into fights, peel for Draven, because obviously if Draven's gone, as you're saying, that's the only damage source. And Baron Badges did not build the best build to be a peeling support. He went for, well, he has the talisman to help out the team, but he went for a Thornmail over possibly like an Aegis or a even better yet Mikhail's Crucible, which would be great. And he went for like this personal tanky support, and that would be like if he wants to go in and engage, but they need, for one thing, Thresh to be on the backline supporting the Draven, because they already have Elise and Shen to go in.
Absolutely. Shen has been getting some very solid taunts, and Elise Kinata's cocoons, he's landed almost every single one, catching E-Cesium, catching E-Hydrogen, catching Zinc, but oh man, Vincent looks like he's going to be engaged upon. Thrill of the Hunt goes down.
There is the knock-up, or the stun, and that is a completely dead Shen right there. Cannot tank up 5 members of the enemy team, and they just caught him so off guard right there. However, this is actually
rotation from Alhambra.
Yep.
They're going for the inhibitor, forcing a recall. If they can get this inhibitor and back up fast enough, they might even be able to take a Baron on the counter rotation. They certainly have the damage from Shoko, but here comes Nidalee.
Yeah, they are able to pick that one up there. Draven was a little bit late, but they're able to pick it up right in the nick of time, but now they have to run away very quickly, which they are actually able to do. So they're gonna be running away from this one. They pick up a nice inhibitor there, and that's pretty worth it. I would say trading a champion for an inhibitor.
Oh,
Definitely
man,
worth
Mr.
it.
Shoko barely got that stand aside. E-Cesium, he was looking for the Cyclone. He still has it off of cooldown and has Flash as well. Maybe if he flashed forward and instantly Cycloned, he would have been able to caught Draven in the range, but instead decided to try to mimic and get up close. I don't know why that was the case, as everyone saw him, but looks like we could have a Baron fight with...
Oh, Elise is going again. Repel comes back down. Isn't able to steal it. Does get the wild growth to get some knock-up going. Box coming up. They're trying to peel for Draven. They're focusing him down, though. Elise goes... Sivir gets a double kill here, and they're getting onto the stream. He tries to flash away. Standing United coming out as well. He cannot kite his way out of it. And he goes down himself. Shen's the only one left alive for his team. Wasn't even in the fight right there. That's a 4-for-0 trade in favor of Chadwick High School, also picking up the Baron.
And that was just such powerful play from Chadwick. Elise tried to go for the execute, but the moment it went down, she got exhausted, reducing the damage of her venomous bite. So the execute was nowhere near strong enough to secure the kill. And that Baron buff allowed Chadwick to
this
push
might be
forward
game.
the team fight. And they're actually going on to the Nexus turrets. Vincent is trying to soak it up, but I don't know if he's going to be able to survive 1v5 once again.
He goes down this time, and this is going to be... The Nexus Tower is going down, and eventually the Nexus Chadwick High School coming from behind to pick up the win in this game. They were against a formidable AD carry, but they were able to pull it together. You know, they had a lot more damage sources, as you were saying. They're going 2-0 in this match, picking up 3 circuit points, and they're going to enter a 3-way tie for 3rd place, which I'm sure they're excited about, or 2nd place.
Absolutely, that was just a phenomenal ending to the game. Really, really just neck and neck throughout the end. And I didn't catch the gold at the very, very end, but I'm certain it was nothing more than a couple thousand between the two teams. And 46 minutes in, that's really not that much.
Yeah, it was 68,000 to 73,000. So that's a 5,000 gold lead for Chadwick High School. And 46 minutes into the game, it's not that much.
Yeah, it definitely isn't. And that was it was phenomenal. Great teamwork from everybody. Really, really well played all across the board. Getting both of those Barons, though, allowed Chadwick to come back. When I first tuned in at about 20 minutes, it looked like Alhambra had just about everything in their pocket, but not being able to siege past that Nidalee poke and the Sivir wave clear was just too much. And after a long enough amount of time, Chadwick got the items that they needed to turn it around, secure the Baron, and take for themselves the win.
Yep, so guys, that's going to be the end of the broadcast for tonight. Of course, check out more of the High School Star League. Our website is hsstarleague.com if you want to get, more involved in High School Star League. Find out more, watch a bit more. We stream StarCraft 2, League of Legends, and Dota 2. You can check all that out on our website, of course. Also, follow us, or like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter there, facebook.com/hsstarleague, twitter.com/hsstarleague. Our YouTube is youtube.com/highschoolstarleague, where these VODs will be posted at a later date. Also, you can find them on our Twitch stream. And if you want to find out whenever we're streaming any of these high school esports games made purely of high school players and teams, follow the stream. So, guys, thanks for watching. Also, a shout out to our sponsors, which would be Twitch TV, iBuyPower, Razer, Jinx Apparel, and of course Bright Games, helping out with the RP, sponsoring the prizes. So, also if you like the casting for today, I'm Crusader Kitten. You can find me at twitter.com/Crusader Kitten. And joining me slightly late, but bringing a lot into the cast, where can we find you?
It'll be better next time. Next Sunday, I'll be right on time and happy to cast even more games, because that really was just a fantastic, fantastic play. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Caster Seda. You can follow me on Twitter at Caster Seda. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the Fields of Justice.